Yo, what is good, Jets Nation? It's your boy Richie, and today I want to break down some of my favorite players that I've seen this season, some rising stars, some players that's really stood out, and overall want to break down some players on this Jets football team that deserves a little more love. Now, rising star might be a little much of a stretch for some of these players, but just know the reason why I'm bringing this up, and I just feel like they are rising to the occasion, and they have an opportunity here to continue to trend in that direction. And there's some players that I feel like some Jets fans aren't really talking about that I think deserve some praise and deserve some love. And I know that the Jets are 1-3, and I know that we're on a 3-game losing streak here, but I definitely feel like there are some players that Jets fans should really be excited about, not only for this season, but the foreseeable future beyond, because it's exciting, man. We got some young studs on spread across this Jets roster, and the cool thing about this is we're not even going to break down our best players, right? We're not going to talk about Garrett Wilson. We're not talking about Bryce Huff. We're not talking about Sauce or Quinnen or C.J. Mosley or any of the, if you will, studs and stars and faces of this Jets organization. We're going to talk about the under-the-radar guys that some people are giving credit, and I have to give that, obviously you see one star that we're going to highlight, which is Bryce Huff, of course, but I'm not going to sit here and be like, some of these players are getting love, some of these are not getting love, and I think that you guys have a good understanding of which players I will be breaking down in this live show. So, guys, if you're just tuning in live, please do your boy a solid favor. All you got to do, simply hit that like button, folks. Would really, really appreciate that big time. Absolutely love going live with you guys and talking Jets. Always a pleasure of mine. And just a little update of what's going on for me today. I will be live on the Bleacher Report app at 1 p.m. Eastern Time, joined by TD Finns Talk and a Cowboys and a Lions YouTuber. We're going to be bringing you our Week 5 picks. It's a brand new show, by the way, on Bleacher Report that I'm a part of every single Wednesday, 1 p.m. So if you guys want to check that out on the Bleacher Report app, I would love to have some Jets fans in the chat because it gets pretty heated. It's a chat that's filled with NFL fans, and I feel like Jets fans, if you guys can help your boy out, support me over there on the Bleacher Report app at 1 p.m., I would greatly, greatly appreciate that, folks. Now, let's get straight into business, guys. Let's get straight into business. But please, if you did not already, guys, simply hit that like button on your way into the show. Shout out to everybody tuning in. We got Henny, of course, showing up with the Henny. What's up, everybody? What's up? Hope you guys are enjoying. Justin's in class right now. Justin, focus on class, but also focus on the Jets, of course, right, Justin? Appreciate that. What's up, Greg? What's up? What's up? All right, guys, let's get straight into it. So the first player is the guy that's on the screen right now, Bryce Huff. Let's talk about Bryce Huff because he needs to get extended ASAP. Bryce Huff is a player that disrupted the entire Kansas City Chiefs game. He is playing like the best Jets defensive lineman next to Quincy Williams right now. And I feel like this is a player where you saw, was it the first year that Joe Douglas was here, John Franklin Myers was playing very good early on in the season, entering a contract year. And what happens? The Jets signed John Franklin Myers to an extension mid-season. If I'm Joe Douglas, I'm doing the same exact thing with Bryce Huff. He is a free agent after this season. He is a rising star, and the last thing this Jets team needs is him for walking in free agency because he is playing like an absolute stud. And you got to give the Jets coaching staff a lot of credit because they're giving him more opportunities. They're not just giving him, third down pass rushing reps. They're giving him first down and second down opportunities. And he played a lot more snaps than Carl Lawson and other Jets defensive linemen. So Bryce Huff, he had a lot of disrupting plays Sunday night against the Kansas City Chiefs. Of course, he drawed that penalty in the end zone, which resulted in 2 points in the safety. He didn't get a sack, but he had a lot of quarterback hurries, a lot of quarterback hits, and a lot of pressures that really resulted in some good plays. In the red zone, there was 2 separate plays where Bryce Huff got to Patrick Mahomes, which resulted in Mahomes to, get off his spot, roll to his right, and throw off platform, which resulted in an incomplete pass, and the Chiefs settled for 3 points instead of getting in the end zone. So there's a lot of fun things to look at when it comes to Bryce Huff. If you want to talk about his speed off the edge, his explosiveness, his ability to just bend around that edge with ease, he is a different type of player. I also noticed on film that the Jets are using him all over the defensive line, not just on the edge, but they're lining him up inside. They're twisting. They're doing some stunts. They're getting creative and using Bryce Huff as a weapon outside of just his pure pass rushing abilities. He's actually showed up in run stuffing opportunities as well. Whenever he is on the field and the offense runs the ball, he's been making plays. One play stood out to me. Was it against the Cowboys? I forgot which game it was, but there was a really, really awesome run snapping rep that he had where he had a sick tackle for loss. And that just tells you the type of growth that he's having. So Bryce Huff is definitely a player that deserves the hype for the rising star of this Jets team because he's playing like one of the best edge rushers in the NFL from the standpoint of the speed off the line of scrimmage. I mean, that safety that he had and that, when he got a face mask on him, he was in the back zone or in the Chiefs back end within like a split second. The ball snapped these 2 yards into the Chiefs territory, and he got to Patrick Mahomes so freaking fast. And I think there's so much room for Bryce Huff to grow as well. I don't think that we've seen it. I don't think we've seen a ceiling. I think he's just continuing to get better and better as the season goes on and his career develops. I really think that this is a guy that Jets fans got to really, really be excited about because there's so many things about Bryce Huff's game that gets me so freaking excited, guys. It really, really is true, man. Greg, always enjoying your show here. And wow, that's sick, Greg. I love how we have Jets fans global tuning in the Jets media. That means a lot to me, folks. Guys, hit that thumbs up button for your boy. Let's go, let's go. Now, before we get into the next rising star, which we have quite a few to get through, guys, I do have a quick announcement because we do have a proud sponsor of today's show, and that just so happens to be, you know them, Manta Sleep, baby. If you guys want to get your Manta Sleep mask, guys, click that link that's down below in the description for 10% off. Manta Sleep is the best sleep mask on the market, folks. I know you guys have been very aware of Manta Sleep. If you guys have been watching the channel, they've been a proud sponsor for the last 3 or 4 months now, and they have been an absolute game changer for my sleep. I sleep with it every single night. I recommend the Pro Mask, which is the one right here you're seeing on this video right here. It's engineered for side sleepers, 100% blackout when you put it on. If you happen to have a room where the light starts to penetrate, or you're someone that likes to take naps in the middle of the day, this is definitely something I would highly recommend getting, guys. And you guys get a 10% discount courtesy of your boy with my 10% discount code. So, guys, click the link down below in the description, or just go to mantasleep.com and put promo code all capitals JETS to get your Manta Sleep mask today. If you don't feel like it's something for you, maybe you know someone that you know is struggling with some sleep, and you can get it for them as a present, courtesy of your boy Jets Media, giving you guys a 10% discount. So shout out to Manta Sleep for sponsoring Jets Media in today's live show. So let's get further into it. Let's get into the next rising star. Now, which one will it be? Yep, Joe Tippmann. Joe Tippmann deserves my love because Joe Tippmann, in 2 starts at right guard, absolute stud, okay? Joe Tippmann, listen, I feel like, the offensive line against Buffalo was The offensive line against the Cowboys was trash. The offensive line against the Patriots, pretty good. The offensive line against the Chiefs, excellent. Now, notice something. Joe Tippmann did not play the first 2 weeks. Joe Tippmann played the last 2 weeks. So, pretty wild stuff. Joe Tippmann has the highest grade out of any Jets rookie on the roster at 76.6 grade. He's 85 pass blocking snaps, only 1 pressure allowed. And, he is not only doing great in the pass game, but he is absolutely moving people in the trenches on the run game, bro. He is moving people. He's opening up. And he's partnered up with Elijah Vera-Tucker on that right side, another stud who's an absolute beast at right tackle. I don't think we need to talk about AVT as a rising star because I think we all know the star that he is. But Joe Tippmann, for example, he is rising to the occasion. He is showing that he is somebody that needs all the love from Jets fans, man. I feel like, Joe Douglas has been getting a lot of criticism with the development of this offensive line, but I think ever since Dwayne Brown got injured and they slid Mekhi Becton to left tackle, they slid AVT to right tackle, they plug in Joe Tippmann at right guard, this offensive line has been playing like on a different level right here, folks, and it's really, really exciting. Someone that has not given up a sack and someone that's moving people in the run game as a rookie, it's exciting, and I personally think that this is our center for the future. Right now, he's playing right guard because we have Connor McGovern at center because he needs to learn that center position. There's a lot of responsibility when it comes to being a center in the NFL in terms of communication, calling things out. So the Jets don't feel like he's ready to be there yet. But right now at right guard, that's really exciting stuff, man. That run that Breece Hall had against the Chiefs, he pulled set the edge, was a beautiful blocker. That other run where Bryce Huff got the first down was 11 yards. He absolutely sealed open that hole. And then in the pass protection, it's beautiful, man. You can't say enough great things about Joe Tippmann, man. Absolute home run of a draft pick. And you got to give credit for Joe Douglas for getting rid of Elijah Moore. Elijah Moore, that's the pick that we drafted to get Joe Tippmann. We moved up from round 3 to round 2 by shipping Elijah Moore to Cleveland, who has, by the way, been playing very poorly for Cleveland, and the Jets are able to get a stud offensive lineman, Joe Tippmann. You can argue we have two absolute beasts on this offensive line for the future in AVT and Joe Tippmann, and Mekhi Becton's been playing great too. Now, it's hard to really say Mekhi Becton is part of the future just because he is entering a contract year. So it's not like he is, long-term committed to this team like Joe Tippmann is or AVT is. I personally, hopeful that Mekhi Becton stays healthy for the rest of the season and the Jets can extend him. That's the best case scenario because Mekhi Becton's playing left tackle, and he's playing like a franchise left tackle right now. So the Jets have 3 stud young offensive linemen, and you also got to show love to Laken Tomlinson. Laken Tomlinson had one of his best games of his career with the New York Jets on Sunday night. Maybe pairing him next to Mekhi Becton is what he's always needed because remember last year, Tomlinson's first season with the Jets was so bad, and he had freaking Dwayne Brown next to him. So big-time shout-out to the offensive line. Joe Tippmann deserves a star. Now, the next player who I think is probably arguably the best player on defense this year is Quincy Williams. Not only is Quincy Williams playing like a Pro Bowler, but he's playing like an all-pro. I mean, the one thing that we knew about Quincy Williams that he needs to develop his game is coverage. Right? And there's a lot of different plays that I can bring up. Week 1 against Buffalo, he had that pass breakup at the end zone on James Cook to prevent a touchdown. Sunday night, he had that amazing pass breakup on that tight end little route up the left sideline. He is fierce. He leads the Jets in tackles. He is blitzing the quarterback. He sets the tone. He provides that spark, that energy, that violence. I mean, bro, Quincy Williams, I'll say it again, is playing like the best player on the entire Jets defense. And there's studs all across his defense. His own brother, Quinnen Williams, Sauce Gardner, DJ Reed, CJ Mosley. I mean, there's studs everywhere, but he has been the star of the defense so far. And I'm really proud of him because I've always felt like Quincy Williams deserves so much credit from the fan base. I never understood the criticism. I understood, he needs to improve in this, improve in that. But last year, I heard some people tell me, like, Richie, I don't really want to extend Quincy Williams. I'd rather go somewhere else. Bring in Quan Alexander instead. Quan Alexander is better than Quincy Williams. I could not disagree more last year. I'm like, no, Quan Alexander, I like him. But Quincy Williams has so much upside, and you got to keep him, bro. Extend Quincy, and you'll see. And they extended him, and now you're seeing it, folks. Quincy Williams is a damn stud, and I'm so excited to see him because he is that Energizer bunny. He is that guy that is pretty much has his nose dirty in every single play. Him and CJ Mosley, you can argue, are like a top linebacker duo in the NFL. I mean, we got the all-pro, seasoned captain veteran of CJ Mosley next to him with a young, aspiring stud in Quincy Williams right next to him, man. Really, really fun stuff. Really, really fun stuff. And how about that contract Jets gave Quincy Williams? It's looking like a damn bargain. So really good stuff from there. Now, this next player that I want to break down, he's had very limited opportunities. Okay, so I can't really be like he's a rising star because we've only seen a little glimpse of him. And it's a player that everybody has been begging the Jets to give more playing time. And he got more playing time on Sunday night. And he showed why he needs more playing time. And that is Jeremy freaking Rucker. I think that the Jets have to keep unleashing Jeremy Rucker more for his blocking than anything. I mean, the blocking ability that Jeremy Rucker possesses is absolutely off the charts. I need Jeremy Rucker the ball. And the one time he got the target in the passing game, that was a unreal catch and a great throw by Zach Wilson. That back shoulder fade route from the slot from Jeremy Rucker. He has so much upside in the pass block, in the pass catching ability, but also his run blocking. That little end around we had from Xavier Gipson, who's also finally getting the ball, who you can say is another rising star if the Jets start to utilize him a little bit more. That little end around when the Jets were in the red zone, that 15-yard run from Xavier Gipson. Jeremy Rucker was the lead blocker and absolutely shelled his guy. So Jeremy Rucker's exciting. And you also got to show love that both Tyler Conklin and CJ Uzomah, they had really good games against the Chiefs. You had CJ Uzomah's unreal touchdown catch in the back right corner of the end zone. You had Tyler Conklin's 4-catch night. almost had a touchdown. And I feel like the tight ends are finally getting the rhythm. And also, it's up to Hackett to kind of open up this offense and get all the playmakers involved. And more importantly, it's up to Zach Wilson to facilitate the rock and get all the people involved. So Jeremy Rucker is definitely a player that I feel like deserves a lot of credit from this Jets fan base. And he's only going better, bro. He's only getting better. And the only thing holding him back, in my opinion, is simple: opportunities. You give this guy opportunities, he's going to thrive. He is going to make some strides. He's going to block for sure. And the next key to this Jets offense that we haven't seen yet is a consistent running game. And I think that the run game is going to unlock against Denver because they are one of the worst defenses in the league against the run. And I think that they really, I don't want them to abandon the pass because I like them being aggressive. I like them being able to, play action, pick shots down the field with Zach. But also against Denver, I really want to see them really establish a run game because that's what's going to open up this offense to another level. Because without a run game, the play action doesn't really become a threat, right? And that's my point. This next player who, listen, a rising star is a stretch, but this is a guy that's been pretty solid, pretty solid for this Jets offense. And I feel like, when we signed him in the offseason, it was like, okay, what do we expect from him? It's a pretty big contract, and he has been nothing short of solid, and he deserves credit, and that's Allen Lazard. Allen Lazard is a guy that came here and, of course, came for Aaron Rodgers, but not only has he been just a really good security blanket for Zach Wilson, he's been a leader, man. He is such a good leader, holding himself accountable, grounding Zach Wilson a little bit and showing his leadership abilities. And he just seems like a guy that's just like solid, right? Every time the ball's thrown to him, he has sure hands. That amazing route down the right sideline when Zach Wilson threw up the bomb, it was a little underthrown, and Allen Lazard came back for the ball. Really good stuff. That touchdown was, his first touchdown as a Jet was really sensational. Needed that touchdown big time in that game. And I think Allen Lazard is really rising to the occasion for these New York Jets. And I think that Allen Lazard is like, a very solid number 2 receiver next to Garrett Wilson. A lot of people are like, oh, we need better receivers. We need better receivers. I always said, dude, Allen Lazard is a perfect number 2, man. He's not the freakishly athletic person that's going to take it, the distance when he gets the ball, but he's a big target, sure hands, can throw it up, 50-50 ball, red zone threat. Absolutely love what I'm seeing from Allen Lazard, man, and I think he deserves a lot of credit. I really, really do. So let me know your guys' thoughts of Allen Lazard in the chat. Now, the final rising star. Now, this one might be a little controversial, guys, so bear with me here. This one might be a little controversial. Now, he needs to show more in order to be really a star. But I have a funny feeling that we're going to see something this week that's going to make this even more obvious that he could be a rising star. Now, it could be obvious of where I'm going here. Could be obvious. It's the elephant in the room. It's the elephant in the room. But what I saw on Sunday night is something. It looked like a star was born. But the star is not going to be born if he does not do it consistently. And that's the reality of it. But based off that game, folks, you guessed it, Zach Wilson. Now listen, folks, the only way he is a star in this league is if he shows consistency, okay? But what I saw on Sunday night, watching it over and over and over again, it looked like a player that we've all been waiting to see arrive on the occasion. Now listen, rising star says that he's rising. He's not there. He's not a star, all right? Hear me out, folks. I'm not going to sit here and be like, guys, Zach's the star. He's our franchise quarterback. No, not what I'm saying, okay? I think what we saw on Sunday night could be the potential start of something special if he can really figure it out, okay? Now, listen, man, the biggest reason why I'm bringing this up is I am just really impressed with his mental fortitude, and that's my biggest takeaway from him. And also, you look at his stats throughout the season, they're not excellent. They're also not terrible, right? If you compare his stats across the league to Ryan Tannehill, to like these average quarterbacks, he's playing better than them. Daniel Jones, 4 touchdowns, 4 interceptions, 750 yards, has 85 straight passes without an interception. He is figuring it out. And I think he has a chance, right? There's something clicking in his mind. There's something different with Zach. And I felt it early on in that Dallas game, and then it all just went to shit when he started pressing and throwing those turnovers. And then against the Patriots, it was a shitty game where he was missing open guys. There was people down the field, and he wasn't really, figuring himself out. It was all mental. Had a turnover-free game, but wasn't not able to help this Jets team win the game. And everybody, including myself, was criticizing Zach, saying, you got to be better than that. You can't let Garrett Wilson be open and not find him. And then on Sunday night, he outperforms the best quarterback in the NFL in Patrick Mahomes with the whole world watching, everybody counting him out, and he puts up that type of performance. Now, listen, it was not perfect, right? There were some throws you wish he had it back, right? There were some that fumble was a big time mistake. But I looked at those throws, folks. It wasn't like he just was hitting open receivers, which he was, but the back shoulder throws, the anticipation, the checking at the line of scrimmage, the poise in the pocket, the athleticism to escape the pocket when pressure gets there. He has all of the traits you want in a damn quarterback. But what he needs to do is so simple, folks. Stack these performances up, because nobody is going to care about what he did on Sunday night against the Chiefs if he does not do this every single week from here on out. Okay? There's no room. There's no room. Right? So he is rising. Second overall pick. He has the potential. We all get that he has the physical traits. And you know that I've been backing Zach for a long time, and I've been trying to pump optimism in him and pump optimism within the fan base to say, guys, he just needs to figure it out up here. He's got the arm. He's got the athleticism. He's got the physical traits, but he's got to figure out how to read a defense. And what I saw on Sunday night was a quarterback that was reading the defense. The amount of times I saw Zach go to the line of scrimmage, see what the defense is showing, check to a new play, and rip it to an open receiver. That is something. And guys, every quarterback has their own trajectory, okay? Not every quarterback has it click immediately, right? Some quarterbacks, it clicks. C.J. Stroud, for example, rookie quarterback for the Houston Texans, stud, okay? It's clicking for him. Geno Smith took him 9 years. Aaron Rodgers, 3 years learning behind Brett Favre. I mean, I can go on, different examples. And I'm not sitting here and telling you guys it's official, Zach Wilson's, it clicked, it's over, he's our guy, he's franchise quarterback. But there's a potential that he can really prove that. Okay? With the addition of Aaron Rodgers to develop him this offseason, with the addition of this brand new coaching staff to pumping confidence within him, to the leadership around him, I think that there has a chance here, man, of Zach Wilson to really, really be a stud. He has what it takes, bro. He has what it takes. And I'm rooting for you, Zach. I'm rooting for you. And I knew that me, talking about Zach as a rising star is going to be controversial, and I don't really care. Because I'm going to go out on a limb here. I was critical when he was playing poorly, but when I rewatched the game on Sunday night, I saw something different from Zach. Again, it wasn't like he was just looking like an average quarterback. He was making throws that was different, folks. Making throws that not a lot of quarterbacks in this league can make. And I'm not just saying that. I was watching it in awe. He could have just figured it out. And Zach, what better way to light it up against a team that gave up 70 points 2 weeks ago and a team that let Justin Fields, who has been playing so bad, put up 4 touchdowns on them. This is your time, Zach, because if you do not step up against the Denver Broncos, all of this optimism that people are showing you is going to go down the toilet. So he has a new look in his eye. He has a different determination. He has a different maturity to his game. And this is it, Zach. I believe in you. I really it's still there. It's still there, man. When you were struggling against the Patriots, I was frustrated. But there's something different about Zach Wilson right now, folks. There is. And it's up to him to continue to stay within himself and be confident in himself and go out there. Because, guys, the numbers are not lying. They got to be able. And listen, I'm not expecting Zach Wilson, by the way, to put up 300 yards and 3 touchdowns against Denver. Because as bad as Denver is, man, it's going to be in Denver. It's going to be a hostile environment. I'd rather the Jets just run the ball and open up the offense and, like, win. Win the game. Win is what I care about the most Sunday, okay? If Zach Wilson, like, puts up a touchdown and an interception and 210 yards and a win, sign me up, okay? I'm not expecting Zach to all of a sudden become, like, the reason why we're starting to win games. But he cannot become the reason why we lose games. Then that's when he's going to start. The chirps are going to come back out like we heard all last week leading up to that Chiefs game, that he's the reason why we suck. We need him, right? So that's my thoughts, guys. Those are my thoughts. I think that Zach Wilson is proving to be a stud, and it's up to him to really figure it out. So let me know your guys' thoughts in the chat about my list of the rising stars. And I know that you guys are probably looking at me like, Richie, really? You kidding me? You're giving Zach Wilson all this credit off of one game? I see something different in his eyes, man, and something's clicking mentally. And how many times have we all said it's all up to Zach Wilson's mind to let it click, figure it out? And it's also up to the coaching staff to open it up. And he sucked, okay, throughout his entire career with the Jets. And all that can be behind him if he could start figuring it out right now. Everybody, again, has their own trajectory of it. Let's do it, man. Let's do it. So, folks, hit that like button if you enjoyed the show, guys. We broke down some rising stars. If you're just tuning in, I'll go through them again. We talked about Alan Lazard, who I think is a player that is really underrated for this offense, has been showing a lot of strides. We talked about Jeremy Rucker, who has been very, very, very underrated. And I need him on the field more, like what we saw Sunday night. Quincy Williams, probably the star of the entire defense. Joe Tippmann, ever since he entered into the offensive line is a different animal. And then last but not least, Bryce Huff. But I don't know why it's a picture of Zach. It should be a picture of Bryce Huff. But Bryce Huff as well. So that's going to be it for this video, folks. Let me know your thoughts down below in the comment section when this video is all wrapped up. I greatly appreciate each and every one of you guys always tuning into the show, guys. Really, really, really means a lot to the channel. Hit that like button, folks, if you did not already. Comment your thoughts after the video is all wrapped up. I'm about to be live on Bleacher Report in 1 hour, so I really appreciate it, guys, if you can download the Bleacher Report app and show me some love over there. I'll be live with TD Finns Talk and a Cowboys and a Lions fan to talk about week number 5 across the NFL. That's going to wrap up this video, guys. I'll catch you next time, and let's go Jets. Also, AFC's Roundtable tonight, 7:30 p.m. Eastern Time. Later.